Yo, welcome back to the channel. Kamusta sa inyong lahat? Brant was a turning point for fusion damage in Wuthering Waves. Before him, fusion was seen as a niche, something people ran for fun rather than efficiency. Then Brant showed up and broke that perception. His triple threat kit, massive personal damage, support buffs, and surprising sustain allows him to dominate as long as you build him correctly. The key here is investment. Get his best in slot weapon, optimize his build, and suddenly he wasn't just viable, he is top tier. But if Brant was the proof of concept, then the upcoming rumored Resonator, Lupa, is the next stage of the evolution. Rumors suggest that she could introduce mechanics that fundamentally change how fusion teams work. Imagine a DPS or sub DPS who thrives on healing, a character who gets stronger every time she's restored. What happens when a unit doesn't just survive through healing but actively benefits from it? This could mean one of two things. Either Lupa is going to be a Brand 2.0 or she's going to redefine team building in ways we've never seen before. The future of fusion damage depends on just how much Lupa brings to the table. So, who is Lupa and why is she already a threat? Lupa is still a mystery, but the speculation is already making waves. The biggest rumor? She plays like a fusion-based Don Jin. If this is true, then her entire gameplay loop could revolve around HP management, something we've never seen in a fusion DPS before. If Lupa scales off of HP, then she'll have massive survivability while dishing out insane damage. If she heals herself on attack, she could be a self-sustaining machine that doesn't even need a dedicated healer. If she receives buffs when healed, then she could be the first character designed to work best in a team with sustained units. This kind of kit has the potential to make Lupa ridiculously strong or, if handled wrong, an unkillable but weak DPS. The key question is whether she'll be able to maintain high enough damage output to justify her existence. Brant, for all of his strengths, is still very reliant on energy regeneration and setup. If Lupa removes the need and becomes a pure damage monster, then we're looking at a game-changing unit. And then there's the rumor that she buffs active Resonators while she is off-field. This is where things get wild. If she can provide buffs to other characters while waiting to swap back in, then she isn't just another DPS. She's the ultimate fusion support, something we don't have yet. If this turns out to be true, Lupa won't just be Brant but better, because she will revolutionize fusion teams entirely. Instead of simply adding another strong DPS option, she could redefine how fusion comms function at their core. Her off-field buffs wouldn't just enhance Changli and Brant, they could elevate the entire synergy of fusion teams, enabling unprecedented versatility and damage potential. This isn't just a new unit, it's the potential birth of a whole new fusion meta. And so we wonder, how is this gonna affect the meta and the future of fusion? Brand opened the doors to fusion supremacy, but Lupa could kick it down and dismantle the entire frame. Right now, fusion teams are strong but still somewhat rigid. With Brant at the center of it all, his gameplay loop is powerful, but it's his gameplay loop. This means that you have to build around him, optimize his energy regeneration, and let him take control of every rotation. But Lupa, if she truly operates as both a DPS and a support, she won't just introduce a new playstyle, she will demand it. Fusion DPS could become more sustainable than ever. If Lupa self-heals, buffs when healed, and turns sustain into a core mechanic, we could see an entirely new meta where healing isn't just for survival, it's for maximizing damage. Instead of brute force shielding, Players might lean into constant healing to stay aggressive and output even higher damage. If she enables an fusion team, she could push the entire archetype into dominance, much like Electro did in early Genshin Impact. And if she brings everything Brant does, plus team-wide buffs, then Brant might struggle to find a place outside of highly specific teams. It's not that he'd suddenly be bad, but Lupa does everything he does better, while also empowering her teammates. Why would anyone pick him over her? This is the real question. Is Lupa too good? If she makes Brant completely redundant, then she isn't just the next Fusion DPS. She's the next meta-defining character, and maybe even the face of Fusion in Wuthering Waves, which will drive Changli mains into Berserker mode. So what you should ask yourself is, should you pull for Lupa or stick it out with Brant? If you've already invested in Brant, then Lupa presents a tough decision. Is she a necessary addition to your fusion teams, or is Brant still the superior choice? The answer hinges on how much she changes the game. If Lupa simplifies fusion gameplay while amplifying its effectiveness, she becomes a must pull. But if her playstyle overlaps too much with Brant's, then her value depends entirely on whether you need a fusion DPS in the first place. The real game changer would be if Lupa can empower her teammates while staying off-field. If she enhances active Resonators and synergizes with Sustain, she could redefine how fusion teams operate. But if she's just a self-sufficient solo DPS with decent healing, her viability will depend on whether she completely outperforms Brant in raw damage output. At the moment, fusion teams are already strong, but Lupa has the potential to make them absolutely dominant. The question is, how much are you willing to bet on her revolutionizing the meta? Another crucial factor to consider is that Lupa might not just rival Brant, she could actually complement him. If their abilities synergize rather than compete, then having both could be the key to unlocking the full potential of fusion-centric team compositions. This would mean Brant remains a powerhouse while Lupa enhances and expands what fusion teams can do. Fortunately, with Lupa's arrival still on the horizon, players have time to save up for her. Meanwhile, Brant's rerun might not happen until much later, possibly around version 3.0, making this a long-term decision for those looking to optimize their fusion setups. If Lupa truly changes how fusion teams function, then she might not just be an upgrade, she could be essential for future content. The question is, how much will she shake up the meta? Will she completely replace Brant, or will they complement each other? And most importantly, should you start saving your pulls now? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let me know if you're Team Brant or Team Lupa. And don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more deep dives into the meta shifts of Wuthering Waves. Thank you so much for watching. Maraming salamat po, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye!